Hello everyone, and welcome back to our video posts, where I've been leading us through the Noble Eightfold Path and seeing what the Buddha's teachings how they can support us in this time of the pandemic. Recently, we've been exploring the path factor of wise view and going through the Four Noble Truths, which is the classic definition of wise view into the Four Noble Truths. We started with looking at the first two Noble Truths of the Noble Truth of suffering and the Noble Truth of the cause of suffering, and really how intertwined those two truths are. And as I mentioned last time, today we're going to start to look at the third Noble Truth, the Noble Truth of Nibbana, or the ending of suffering. And often Nibbana is conceived of as this kind of, in which it can be, but it's often only conceived of as this kind of big, very kind of huge opening into this completely different realm, like a very, very large event. And again, which it can be, but also, and maybe even more importantly, another way to view Nibbana is anytime the mind is not clinging, is free from clinging. The Buddha taught freedom through non-clinging. And if clinging is the cause of our suffering, then Nibbana, or the end of suffering, is non-clinging. And so we can notice small moments, short moments, when the mind is just, the heart and mind is just resting in the present moment, free from wanting and not wanting, free from identification with what's happening, free from needing things to be different than they are, just okay. And the word contentment can be used for that, an extreme contentment. So it can be actually a lot more ordinary than one might perceive it to be. And the reason this is important is that if we only think of freedom from suffering as some big event, and of course, along with that is going to be a big event in the future, right? And so some big event in the future, and then we're actually not paying attention to the present moment, and we're going to miss all the moments where the mind and the heart are free, actually, in that moment from suffering. And we miss them. So, and by missing them, number one, not only do we not kind of experience them as deeply as we could if we were conscious of them happening, but number two, by not being aware of them as they're happening, we miss the chance to deepen them. And this is actually quite important. One of the path factors is wise effort, of the Eightfold Path, wise effort. And there are four wise efforts, and one of them being the effort to cultivate wholesome mind states that have already arisen. And the way we do that, the instruction is to be clearly aware of them as they're happening. That's what will help deepen them. So if non-clinging is present, then if we are clearly aware of it, it's going to help deepen that in the present moment, and it's going to help support it arising again in the future. So this is actually quite important, this sense of being aware in the moments when the mind is free from suffering, when the heart and mind are free. And that awareness of the moments when the heart and mind are free from suffering is going to be supported by this view that, oh, maybe freedom from suffering isn't some big thing way off in the future. Maybe it's something I can actually notice right here and right now. And then based on that view, the chances are we will notice them. If it's just something off in the future, not going to happen to me, not going to happen now, then we won't be looking, and we'll miss all the moments. So let's go ahead and do some formal practice now and see if we can't notice some moments of non-clinging. They're actually happening all the time, so this will actually be easy to do. We just have to show up with the intention to notice them. So let's settle into the posture that we're going to meditate in. Maybe bringing the eyes to close if that's how you meditate. And let's start to bring attention to the body by consciously relaxing the body. It's not possible to consciously relax the body and not be aware of it. It's a good entryway into contact with the body. This is intentional softening and relaxation. And we connect with the physicality of the body in the posture, in the position that it's in. We are not trying to connect with anything special, but just that we connect, that we feel the body. And we can even start right here with our little experiment. As we feel the body here in the posture that it's in, is there clinging, or is there freedom from clinging? Is there any sense that we don't need the body to be any different than it is right now? The sensations that we're feeling they're just fine. Maybe not so exciting or pleasant, but don't need them to change. We're fine with them the way they are. You can, if that's present, can you notice that? This is the mind unburdened from wanting and not wanting, free from it temporarily. And even though there may not be a lot of bells and whistles with that experience, as we train ourselves to be aware, to be present with that experience, we actually start to get sort of a taste for it. The chitta, the heart mind, starts to recognize this place as home. A place of rest and ease. Feeling the sensations of body sitting, feeling the sensations of body breathing. Noticing the sensations in the body as the breath comes and goes. And again, perhaps we can notice a sense of okayness or contentment. This experience of not needing the sensations of the breath to be any different than they are. A very simple experience of sensations of breath being known, free from wanting and not wanting. Really connecting with the heart mind in these moments where not trying to be anyone or do anything, feel like it has to go anywhere. Just open and relaxed. Spontaneously being aware of life as it occurs. In this case, being aware of the sensations of body and breath. Like an infant resting in the arms of its parent, free, at ease, content. The heart and mind rests in the present moment, free from wanting and not wanting, content. Temporarily freed from suffering. And we can bring this practice, as we can with all of our practices, to our daily life. And it's just to be aware or have the intention to be aware, just those very simple moments. You're just walking from one room to another, perhaps, in where you live, and you're not ahead of yourself, kind of thinking about where you're going. You're just walking, just settled, not feeling like you need to be doing anything different at that moment. And when we can tune into these moments, I'm just walking here to this other room and completely content, not needing things to be different than they are, not wanting or not wanting. Again, we can connect with these moments and, how does that feel? Start to get a taste for these temporary freedom from suffering moments. The more we consciously connect with these moments, the more we're going to want more of them. We like them. I mentioned in our sit, it's like we start to get a taste for them. And it's kind of like, yeah, I like that. That's something in a something knows that's good. That's where I want to be. Something knows that's home. So just make that intention to be aware. There's tons of these moments during the day. And as I mentioned before, mostly we miss them. So just make that intention that you start to connect with them and enjoy those just kind of sweet, maybe short, lovely moments of just being. Okay, I wish you well today and always. We'll see you back here tomorrow and we'll pick up on this theme of short moments of freedom from suffering. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.